Banks use transaction reordering to turn one overdraft fee into 5. You check your balance in the morning, it looks fine. You buy a $4 coffee, then a $12 sandwich, then your rent check hits. You think the bank subtracts them in that order because that's how time works. But the bank doesn't care about time. They care about the algorithm running in their basement right now. It takes your daily transactions and shuffles the deck, not randomly, strategically, to drain your account to zero as fast as mathematically possible. And you're about to see exactly how much that shuffle costs you. You swipe for gas, $35, declined. Everyone in line stares while you fumble for your phone. You check your banking app. Yesterday you had $400. Today you see red text, negative $140. How? You did the math. You knew you had enough to cover the electric bill and the groceries. You specifically bought the coffee before the bill hit, but the app says you're wrong. You feel that pit in your stomach. You blame yourself. You think you forgot a subscription. You tell yourself you're just bad with money. That shame you feel standing at the register? That is a feature, not a bug. They bank on you being too embarrassed to ask questions. Look closer at the fees. $35 for the coffee, $35 for the sandwich, $35 for the pack of gum. They didn't bounce the big check that drained the account. They pushed it to the front of the line. They let it clear first, specifically to expose the small purchases. They turned a $5 latte into a $40 luxury item. Why would they warn you? Overdraft fees aren't a mistake to them. They're a profit center, a revenue stream that requires you to fail. If you budget correctly, they lose money. If you stumble, they hit their quarterly targets. This isn't bad luck. This is a business model. And there is a reason this keeps happening to you. This practice has a name, high to low processing, and for years, Wells Fargo was the undisputed king of it. Don't take my word for it. Pull out your phone right now. Search for Gutierrez versus Wells Fargo. That is a federal ruling. A judge looked at their internal documents and saw the truth. They didn't reorder transactions to help you manage your budget. They engineered the posting order specifically to gouge customers. That is the court's word, not mine. But Wells Fargo isn't the only one playing this game. They just got caught first. The incentive structure is simply too profitable to ignore. U.S. banks generate over $15 billion in overdraft revenue in a single year. Think about that number. That is not a service fee. That is an entire industry. And they know exactly who pays it. Their own data shows that just 9% of customers pay 80% of the total fees. You are the target market. They aren't trying to monetize the guy with $50,000 in savings. They are hunting the person with $40 in checking. That person is the whale. Your struggle pays for their executive bonuses. The system is designed to kick you when you're down, because that is when you are most profitable. And the way they pull it off is almost elegant if it weren't ruining your life. Here is the mechanics of the cheat. It starts with a concept banks call batch processing. You assume your account is a live stream, money in, money out, second by second. That is an illusion designed for your app screen. In reality, the bank holds your transactions in a digital waiting room all day long. They don't finalize anything until the middle of the night. Why wait? Because they can't shuffle the deck if they process the cards one by one. They need the whole pile. Once they have every purchase you made that day, the algorithm wakes up. It ignores the timestamps. It ignores the fact that you bought breakfast at 8 a.m. It simply asks, what is the biggest number here? This is where the math turns predatory. Let's look at your ledger. You have $100 in your account. You buy 5 coffees for your team, $3 each, total $15. Later, an unexpected $95 bill hits. In a chronological world, the coffees clear first. You have $85 left. The $95 bill hits. You are short $10. One overdraft, one $35 fee. You take the hit and move on. But that doesn't maximize shareholder value. So, the algorithm runs high to low. It forces the $95 bill through first. Your $100 balance drops to $5. Now it processes the coffees. Coffee 1 clears, balance $2. Coffee 2, overdraft. Coffee 3, overdraft. Coffee 4, overdraft. Coffee 5, overdraft. Do you see what just happened? These same transactions, the same starting balance, but instead of paying $35, you now owe the bank $140. They quadrupled their profit by changing the order of lines in a spreadsheet. And the most insane part? The purchase that actually triggered the overdraft, the coffee, costs almost nothing. A $3 coffee becomes a $38 expense the moment the fee hits. You are paying a 100% markup on a latte because a computer decided to process your day backwards. This is the efficiency they talk about in quarterly reports. It is the efficiency of a slaughterhouse. And it gets worse. They don't just reorder within a single day. Some institutions hold pending transactions for up to 3 days. They wait. They watch your balance dwindle. They hold that $50 grocery charge from Tuesday until Thursday afternoon, right when your car payment hits. They create a collision that didn't exist in reality. They manufacture a liquidity crisis in your account to trigger the fees. Why process a transaction on Tuesday for free when you can process it on Thursday for $35? The incentive rewards the delay. Every second they hold your money in limbo is another chance for you to slip up. But here is the part that changes everything. When you drag them into a courtroom, they don't deny the math. They don't apologize. They smile. They look the judge in the eye and say, "We did this for you." This is their legal defense. They claim high-to-low processing is a consumer protection service. Their lawyers argue that if your account is running low, surely you would want your mortgage paid before your latte. They frame it as a moral imperative. We prioritize the essentials to keep a roof over your head. It sounds noble. It sounds responsible. It is absolute garbage. Look at the logic again. In our example, the $95 bill cleared in both scenarios. The reordering didn't save your rent check. The rent check was clearing anyway. All the algorithm did was ensure that after the rent cleared, you had zero cushion left for the 5 small purchases that followed. If you truly didn't have the money, if you only had $50, the rent bounces regardless of whether they process it first or last. The order changes nothing about your solvency. It changes everything about their revenue. They aren't prioritizing the big bills because they care about your shelter. They don't care if you sleep in your car. It is the heavy object they use to smash your balance down to zero, specifically so the small charges can rush in and trigger the fees. They are using your own rent check as a weapon against you. And the twist isn't just that they are stealing from you, it's that they are gaslighting you while they do it. They have successfully argued in court that bankrupting you is a favor. They call this account management. I call it charging you a premium for the privilege of being mugged. So where does that leave you? You cannot shame an algorithm into having a conscience. You cannot ask a publicly traded company to hate money. But you can turn the machine off. The bank sells overdraft protection like it's a life jacket. It isn't. It is an anchor designed to drag you to the bottom. So, cut the rope. Call them. Tell them you want to opt out of coverage completely. When you swipe for that $4 coffee and have $3 in the bank, you want it to decline. Yes, the cashier will stare. Yes, it will be awkward for 10 seconds. But that awkwardness is free. The alternative is paying a $35 tax for a mistake you haven't even made yet. A declined card is not a humiliation. It is the only honest interaction the bank will ever offer you. It is the system admitting you are out of funds before they can punish you for it. If they want to reorganize your financial life, let them organize a declined transaction. It is better to be embarrassed for a moment than exploited for a lifetime.